be united whenever we stand.
Good afternoon and welcome to news. I'm Salmatu Jalloh. Coming up in this afternoon's edition of news, Ministry of Lands, Country Plan and the Environment continues demolition of illegal structures along the region's Grafton Road. Police and commercial bike riders clash in Freetown. Absence for 30 consecutive days from parliamentary sittings without convincing excuses render the seat vacant, says Speaker of Parliament. And special court convict Tamba Brahma dies in Rwanda. All the stories and more within business and sports are lined up tonight, this afternoon. For our first story this afternoon, the Sierra Leone Standards Bureau and the United Nations Industrial Development Organization have concluded a two-day workshop on the development of a national quality policy in Sierra Leone. A national quality policy is to establish a framework for the development and operation of suitable infrastructure that will facilitate regional trade, consumer protection, and enhance sustainable economic development. Ibrahim Summer reports.
Industry Modu Ali Patso said the national quality policy was welcoming for Sierra Leone. The minister said Sierra Leone is experiencing trade imbalance as a result of increase in imported goods, some of which were poor and substandard. He said the country has an embryonic country that required support to improve the quality and competitiveness of its products to comply with international trade and enhance domestic consumption. Mr. So said the trade is identified as one of the principal instruments of economic development and poverty alleviation. The minister noted that the fundamental parts of national quality infrastructure are standards, metrology, and accreditation to organizations or institutions. He said the establishment of a national quality policy for Sierra Leone will serve as a guide for its small and medium-sized enterprises or industries to follow international best practices. The policy will provide access for locally manufactured products and services to fulfill the quality requirements demanded by the international market and the ECOWAS sub-region. The executive director of the Sierra Leone Standards Bureau, Engineer James Sion Doumbouya, disclosed that the ECOWAS Commission had developed a regional quality policy that reflected the need for the establishment of a member state known as the ECOWAS Quality Policy in November 2012. He said the policy, which consisted of 15 member states, provides an essential foundation for the harmonization or development of national quality policies that will direct the establishment of sustainable, effective, and internationally recognized national quality infrastructure in place to develop the appropriate services that will be accepted in the export market. The West Africa Quality System is aimed at supporting the implementation of ECOWAS quality policy by providing technical assistance in standardization, accreditation, conformity assessment, and quality promotion to the public institution and the private sector.
The Ministry of Lands, Country Planning and the Environment has continued demolition of illegal structures along the region's Grafton Road. It could be recorded during the commissioning of the road. The President called on concerned MDs to beautify the road. Sheku Sumana reports.
The Regent Grafton Road is a road that should serve as a touristic attraction, and therefore efforts must be made to beautify this road, which was commissioned by President Ernest Bai Koroma last year. During the commissioning of this road, the president called on concerned MDAs to ensure that the road is beautified by planting ornamental trees along the road. Building structures along this road will undermine the integrity of the road. The reason why the president instructed that demolition be carried out. This is what the Ministry of Lands, Country Planning and the Environment has started. These structures that are being demolished were constructed after the commissioning of the road. There are a lot of water catchment areas along this stretch. Constructing houses will affect water supply in the western area, which is already visible. The Minister of Lands, Country Planning and the Environment, her deputy and other senior officials in the ministry were around to supervise the process. Finda Diana Kunyomanyi said her ministry is not only concerned about lands, but that country planning is also a priority. She said water supply to the capital has been challenged by massive deforestation around water catchment areas. Mahmoud Tarawali is Deputy Minister of Lands, Country Planning and the Environment. He said there is no turning back as the laws of the land must be respected.
The Forestry Protected Authority, MPA, have actually marked these structures. MPA marked these structures. When we came as a new administration, the Ministry of Lands, we took a tour, we marked the structures, we gave them notices, we warned them. But people thought it was a joke and we never took it seriously. So this is just the implementation of what we have planned, and it is undiscriminatory. Areas that are actually an eyesore, unsightly to the beauty of this highway, are certainly going to be touched. Eventually, we have also discussed with the Ministry of Agriculture. We shall be undertaking massive tree planting all over these areas to ensure that we regain our forests once we rest of it.
The Ministry of Lands says more demolition exercises are on the way. Reporting for SLBC News, I'm Sheku Smiler.
Early yesterday morning, there was running street battles between the police and commercial bike riders at Cannon Street and Hillside Bypass Road. The skirmish was as a result of what the bike riders say was the death of one of their colleagues. According to the riders, their dead colleague was hit with a truncheon on his spine. Ibrahim Summer witnessed the scene.
God, I got better from me. It's now God go look at that. I know what any place that is inside. So they just are all behind. I don't want to go.
Talk to the camera. Yes, as soon as I follow the clinic, and so I don't go to the simple as police the carriers are compared to fast, Tiagas, and the owners of Canada, and nobody no can stay with that. You see me picking face and face as you said, they don't come back. You see, I will say for the
Hey, look at someone. What's happening to you? What's all that for tear gas? Well, at that junction, I so as they see for me, safe, but then also I get the feel of the tear gas in my eyes, and also as they see people there, everybody they take for a run, and people they take for rescue, and everybody they get the feel of the tear gas, where they allege saying a police fire, and as they see they continue to talk to people, and the situation really desperate, and also the Okada don't go on the rampage with the police them, and they defend each other as the situation continue for tense, and so we can talk to different people that won't inside this one. We continue to talk to people that want to get the views of people that how they feel about this operation.
Me now, man, you know, right now for that do bad. You understand? What you do see peaceful. When they begin carry me, they kill one of colleagues. They kill them. Then four from last week to now. We never go back that today. People that get out, policemen like out shagas. They out shagas. They export shagas. Look me, Mark. Policeman, look me, I saw.
What's nice for you?
The tear gas is not really easy coming out oil at the cell. And the cell for pack, and they just come say the tear gas over with. You don't see better if I help me and one person inside for the guy. I really collapse.
The weekend, that's telling I police there. Who is there? Who is there?
Do the shop here now. Open up on it. Every day inside.
So God, look how they say. Look that lady. The money all they don't see. Look how they say. Look the lady they cry now. The money all they sell, they don't see. For nothing no more. Look, nobody know this. Nobody know for say they attack them. Nobody know attack them. Because they not attack. They not attack. No attack. Nobody. They are going to allow us don't do the empty share. The empty share. Is that the source? You know concern nothing. Look at for pack with my kids there. Yes. Nothing will not do that. Nothing will not concern. We just can't you see, they watch what they pass. See, we no concern nothing. We not business with them. Just come out and run. The bond. This is the bond. This is the bond. This is the bond. I get this. Look at all the bond. So I get this tear gas. From this gutter. Where they hit.
That was a scene like yesterday in some part of Freetown, wherein there was, running battle between some bike riders and police. The Speaker of Parliament, Honorable SBB Domboya, has threatened to declare vacant any seat if any member of Parliament is absent from sittings for 30 consecutive days without any reasonable excuse. The Speaker vows to use the necessary standing orders following the frequent absence of members of Parliament. He made a statement during the ratification of a 3-loan agreement for the construction of the Bob and the Juma Highway and Phase 2 of the Hillside Bypass Road. Mao Ali reports.
I'm going to take necessary action to invoke the necessary section of the Constitution. If you are absent for 10 days, your seat is declared vacant. For 30 days, your seat is declared vacant, 10 days, and you are going to lose your seat. 30 days. I'm not going to qualify you.
The Honourable Speaker called on members of Parliament to urge their constituents to pay their taxes in the interest of the country's development. However, the following loan agreements were approved. Loan agreements between the Republic of Sierra Leone and the African Development Bank Fund. On behalf of the Transition Support Facility, Mano River Union Rehabilitation of Bo Bandajuma Road Project. Loan agreement between the Republic of Sierra Leone and the African Development Fund, Mano River Union Rehabilitation of Bo Bandajuma Road Project, and the loan agreement, the Hillside Bypass Road Project Phase 2, between the Republic of Sierra Leone and the Kuwait Fund for Arab Economic Development. The loan is in the tune of 53 million United States dollars. Presenting the agreement prior to ratification, the Minister of Finance and Economic Development, Mamadou Kagbo, said among other things that the loan is an integral component of Pillar 2 in the agenda for prosperity. He said the loan will stimulate growth and facilitate trade to realize economic empowerment, to ease traffic congestion in Freetown and enhance international linkage to Liberia and other countries in the Mano River Union and West Africa. The Bo Bandajuma Road is a 46-kilometer road which cost 33 million United States dollars with 3 million contribution from the government of Sierra Leone. A 30-year loan period with 10 years grace period. He also said that the Hillside Bypass Road is a 5-mile 4-lane road that costs 20 million United States dollars. While speaking on the project specifications, including artworks, alphat, and payment of compensation to the project affected persons. In responding to the concerns raised by members of parliament, he said that he has signed a check of over 7 billion for payment to affected property owners, 95% of whom he said had been taken care of according to the conditions precedent in the project document, and called for an overpass or flyover to connect Model Junction to Berry Street, whilst describing the marketing activities taking place there as an eyesore. All other members of parliament who spoke to the debate, including the minority and majority leader, were in full support of the agreement, except for the Honorable Dixon Rogers, who said $20 million agreement for the Hillside Bypass Road is very expensive, and asked that the approval of the said agreement be withheld.
If we can divide out $20 million among the 5 regions, that is 5 million each. And when we're talking about agriculture, there are roads in those regions that the areas are really fertile for agriculture. But they are not doing agriculture simply because they don't have enough infrastructure, they don't have enough roads, even to get the products to the highway.
That was Honorable Dixon Rogers there of the SLPP, and in that report by Mahawa Aliyo. Deputy Minister of Information and Communications, Cornelius Devo, has reacted to a recent publication in the Unity newspaper titled President Nkrumah Democratic Credentials Question. He reacted at a press conference, at the usual press conference hosted by the Minister of Information. Abdul Samsisi reports.
Speaking at the press briefing, Deputy Minister Cornelius Devo described as nonsensical a front-page newspaper report in the opposition Unity Now titled President Nkrumah Democratic Credentials Question.
Describing President Nkrumah as very unfit to carry on with the responsibility given to him by the ECOWAS to mediate in the Guinea-Bissau. Also fundamental is the appointment of His Excellency Dr. Ernest Bai Koroma to mediate in the political turmoil that is slowly engulfing Guinea-Bissau. The paper is describing the decision of ECOWAS heads of state as hypocritical, and it is alluding that President Nkrumah is unfit to carry on the exercise.
According to Mr. Devo, the newspaper described President Nkrumah as unfit to carry out a fundamental international responsibility following his recent appointment by the ECOWAS heads of state to mediate on a political turmoil currently engulfing the West African state of Guinea-Bissau. He added that the publication is uncalled for and unjust, and it is also a character assassination to the collective integrity of every Sierra Leonean. And also at the press briefing, the Deputy Ambassador to the African Union AU and the United Nations Economic Commission in Africa, Ambassador Ishmael Nkrumah, in his update said his mission aims at rebranding Sierra Leone as well as telling beautiful stories. Ambassador Ishmael Nkrumah also commended the exemplary leadership of Nkrumah as a chair of the Committee of 10 and the Security Council, among several others, played in international politics. The chairman, Right to Access Information Commissioner Eunice Asese, gave an operational rundown of activities of the commission, citing the hosting of a 2-day Global Partnership Forum soon in Freetown for the Sustainable Development Goal in collaboration with Statistics Sierra Leone. The Director of Training in the Civil Service Training College, Dr. Pius Kabo, also gave a rundown of activities of the college. For SLBC News, Abdul Samsisi reporting.
The Ghanaian High Commissioner to Sierra Leone, Rita General Kalmodi, and the head of the European Union, Carl Verschurch, has promised to support improved productivity at the youth farm as a way to address unemployment in the country. They made this vow during a conducted tour of the farm at Masalia in the Koya Chiefdom. Here's the report. As the National Youth Fund faced financial constraints, the Minister of Youth Affairs attracted the attention of the European Union, International, and the Ghanaian High Commissioner to Sierra Leone, Kalmodi, to look at possible ways in assisting the youth fund. The youth fund, which was established in 2014, is expected to address youth unemployment and encourage young people to embark on massive agricultural productivity in helping to build the country's economy. Planning International Country Director Art Ullman said that since the establishment of the farm, they have been very supportive in ensuring the youth farm meets the present day of farming and also help to address youth unemployment. He said that they are committed to support the government through the Ministry of Youth Affairs to ensure that this farm is operational. The farm manager, Mustafa Toure, said the farm is 250 acres of land. Ghanaian High Commissioner to Sierra Leone, Kalmodi, commended the Minister of Youth Affairs for such a laudable venture, adding that agriculture is a bedrock to sustainable development of any country. He spoke about the entrepreneurial skills and the youth unemployment, which the farm can easily address if much support and attention is being given to the farm. He expressed the hope that the youth farm will strengthen Ghana and Sierra Leone's relationship and improve variety, and looked forward to supporting the venture. The head of delegation European Union office in Sierra Leone Vestige believe that agriculture is the bedrock for economic development. He said that the European Union is committed to ensuring that the farm is operational. Minister of Youth Affairs by Mahmoud Bangura described the youth farm as a substantial development for young people, adding that they are encouraged by the tremendous support received from the development partners. He said the youth farm is a demonstration of the government's passion and support to young people in contributing to the agricultural sector. He said despite the financial constraints being faced to run the farm, they can boast of dedicated staff who are determined and committed to embark on a massive crop production in the near future.
This dream, I believe, is a sustainable dream for this country and for His Excellency agenda for the young people of this country, because we have always looking out for areas where we can absorb a lot of young people in terms of creation of employment. Young people more than any other sector, and it is our view and it's also our hope that this farm can be a springboard to invite and to convince and also
The Independent Media Commission has given a grace period to 14 newspaper houses that are suspended from publication to regularize their status. The grace period follows an intervention by the Sierra Leone Association of Journalists. Meanwhile, reports reaching SLBC state that the special court convict Tamba Brahma alias Golit is dead. Golit, until his death, was serving a 50-year sentence at Spanga prison in Rwanda. He died after protracted illness, a family source says. It is not confirmed whether his remains will be flown to Sierra Leone for burial. The Minister of Trade and Industry, Captain Momodu Aliyu, has led a high-profile delegation on a fact-finding mission to the National Petroleum Installation site at Kisidokia. Reginald Strassakin went along.
Mr. Patso and delegation were received by the operations personnel of the installation department. The delegation was briefed by the personnel, and after instructions from the safety officers and Bangura, they were taken on a conducted tour of the installation. First port of call was the loading point, where the vehicles transporting fuel are being loaded for transportation to different parts of the country. Valves for the storage tanks were also inspected, as well as the gas tanks. The team also inspected the proposed banking facility and the control room, which is a fully computerized room that has tracking system of all lorries transporting fuel throughout the country.
For example, we are tracking somebody told you that I'm going to Togo. It's not in the official list. You can only a truck from here to Tumbo. And now when it gets to Tumbo, how do my monitor knows that that vehicle has just arrived in Tumbo? Do we have a link?
We do not have a link, unfortunately. We do not have a link.
There is no way that
Yes.
they would know.
Yes, we do not have
So
a link.
that system, now between regulatory and trade, I think we need to.
That was the Minister of Trading in that report by Reginald Strasser-King. The country's ICT regulatory body, NATCOM, has slammed 250 million loans on DSTV for unfair proliferation to the disadvantage of customers. According to the Chief Executive Officer, NATCOM, Momo Conte, board and management took the decision following defiance by the management of DSTV to review its rates. The disclosure was made at a news conference. Details of that will be on at 9. The Minister of Works, Housing and Infrastructure and a team from the Sierra Leone Authority has made an on-the-spot visit on the main bridge leading to Tengbe Town. The visit, according to the Minister of Works, was done to many calls from the public saying that the bridge is a threat to residents. How much do you went along?
A team from SRA during the visit discussed lengthily about various concerns raised by residents concerning the bridge leading to Tengbe Town and its environs. He adds that the calls received from the public highly focused on the high risks they think the bridge will cause during the rains. The minister also states that residents residing under the bridge should also relocate immediately, as the Ministry of Energy has compensated all those residing under high-tension cables.
They are not even supposed to be encouraged. These are the issues. Look at right in the river, right in the water. Look at them. You have to check that. Look at what's happening there. Look at that there. Now, ASAP, in fact, today, whenever I should do that, go and mark X there and the point to go. Just do that, because it's a bridge and it's very dangerous. Yeah, there might be people calling me, but there might be very ones calling me, but like 5 or 6 in the morning. So make sure we let them know that they should leave now. Don't look at them under the bridge.
The Deputy Director of the Sierra Leone Roads Authority, Jalloh, after inspection of the bridge, says there is no problem that we allow the bridge to cause any disaster. Her theme from SLRA will soon strengthen the slabs of the bridge, which is the most important thing for now. She told SABC that the social activity that is taking place under the bridge is also not good, including the rubbish that is deposited underneath.
The bridge, actually, the deck is on the side. This section there is a bit high up from this other section there, so we have the side there. I have lots of debris coming from the hills. We only need to expand on the capacity of the drains there, make sure it is seated regularly, and we may have to also come and check the integrity of the slab, the deck slab of this bridge. We'll check the integrity of it, after which we will suggest maybe we do try to level. It will be a thin of asphalt, so we have a level surface here, so we don't have here. This water settling on top of it.
The Deputy Director General of the Sierra Leone Roads Authority appeals to residents of Tengbe Town to stop depositing garbage under the bridge. SABC TV News are in Freetown. Hawamosiri reporting.
The Magbere village in the Dibia Chiefdom Potloko district is one of the villages in Sierra Leone that lacks basic amenities like safe drinking water, electricity, health and educational facilities. The village has one primary school which has resulted to the increase in childbearing and dropouts. Judith Sana visited the village recently and she now reports.
In the Dibia Chiefdom, Potloko district. Well, we are here to look at the lifestyle of the people in this community. As you can see, in this community, there's just one primary school, the Kulafai Rashidin Primary School. And we understand that there is no secondary school and no tertiary institution. This community lacks some social amenities like safe drinking water, electricity, health facilities, and many more. So we are here to see how these people are coping in this community and what are some of their constraints. So join me as I find out.
For the past decades, the lack of basic social amenities
in the rural areas have become perennial problems in the country. Many reports have been made on the unavailability of water, electricity, and health facilities, and for the response of government in addressing those issues. The Mabere village in Edibia Chiefdom, Port Local districts, is one of the villages that lack basic social amenities since its establishment. This community, with a population of over 600 inhabitants, has never enjoyed safe drinking water, has no health facility and electricity. The village depends on stream and well water for drinking and domestic chores. In an interview with some of the members in the village, I asked how they are coping with life in the absence of these basic amenities.
First we buy torchlight for points. I will sing on now. Now not the use kerosene, pass torchlights no more, we make no more. Buy solar, if you not able to buy them, get rubber. No get water, no get nothing. With this handwork no more. This one, if you raise business countries, no pass person in the beats no more. You no get machine. Let it help we. Even the picking and school business, let it help we. Because right now, we don't get outside for Tolbo, they get money, they sell now for get money. Pass somebody markets not there. Even them are 50 for seller, you know get. So, boy, that's how you get for. Pass them trust, money not there. Money not there. Pass, what is it makes small markets that cost no more? What they don't cost is don't panel.
According to some of the community members, they have never drank pipe-borne water and that the situation is appalling, as most time people report of cholera and diarrhea, which sometimes have led to death. They add that the village has no health facility and depend on herbal medication for different ailments. According to them, the nearest health facility they can access is a distance of 3 miles from the village, which is at Binti. Therefore, there is a crisis whenever there are emergencies, mainly for pregnant women. The Kola 5 Rashidin Primary School is the only primary school at the Mabere village with poor facilities. The children in this village had to walk 3 miles to and from to access secondary school at Binti. According to the community members at Mabere village, the girls hardly complete their senior secondary school because of the distance to the school and has resulted to the increase of dropout and teenage pregnancy. Therefore, girls in that part of the country could find it difficult to realize their dreams. For the boys, some are determined to face the challenge because they want to realize their aspirations. Others could not and therefore engage in farming, which is the main occupation in the village. Here is one of the determined pupils.
Okay. I get table for myself. Okay, I started with my book in the night about 8 o'clock till 9, 10 are off because now from here to Bintin about 6 miles to and fro, 6 miles. Now help we need no more. Help like vehicles. Now we village want secondary up to SS level because you see for see with the stream for that part there.
Pundits say amenities play a major role in man's life and enhance the desirability of real estate, and which contribute to the pleasure and enjoyment of the people. Therefore, authorities should ensure basic social amenities are provided for its people, as it brings a sense of community identification and belonging in society and development. Judith Sana reporting for SABC News.
Many thanks to Judith for that report. Well, it's now time for the business news. Hello and welcome to the business updates. My name is Judith Sana. Coming up, the foreign exchange rates. The US dollar buys at 6,003 leons. Ounce says at 6,124 leons. Pound sterling buys at 8,673 leons. Ounce says at 8,850 leons.
Hio buys at 6,816 leons and sells at 6,953 leons. That's the foreign exchange rate courtesy of the United Bank for Africa, UBA. The bank governor of Sierra Leone, Dr. Kaifala Mara, has called on all airline agencies and other financial institutions to stop receiving and making payments in foreign currencies. This, is said, has depreciated the country's loans and its economy. Dr. Kaifala Mara made a statement at a press conference held at the governor's conference hall. Here's the report. Country's leons is appreciated and not to be depreciated over foreign currency. The Central Bank Governor, Dr. Kaifala Mara, in an effort to defend the integrity of the country's leons, has made a different pricing institution to stop doing their transactions in foreign currency than the leons. This call came as a result of the rise and fall of the country's economy. The Deputy Bank Governor, Dr. Ibrahim Stevens, spoke about the challenges facing the country's economy, citing the Ebola outbreak and the collapse in the iron ore price on the world market, which has caused the exchange rates to depreciate. He referred to the exchange rate as the most important metrics which determine the state of the economy, and that it is high time that private sectors stopped doing their businesses in foreign currency, but make use of the leons. Dr. Stevens told them about the bank's legislation to have an appreciable medium of exchange, which has warranted them over the past weeks to auction $1 million to an inflow into the market. He said it is against the country's law for people to be requesting money from people in doing business in foreign currencies, allowing the country's currency to depreciate. Bank of Sierra Leone Governor Dr. Kaifala Mara said that with the present trend of the country's economy, they saw the need to implement the usage of the country's currency instead of doing business in foreign currency. He said that they believe in lobbying and partnering, of which they have met with different business entities, calling on them to start doing businesses to the payment of the country's currency, adding that anyone flouting this law will be named and shamed. He said that they have also met with managing directors of various commercial banks to address challenges that business entities might face. He referred to the airline industry as the gateway to the country and called on them to adhere to this appeal from the Bank of Sierra Leone to improve on the economy.
You know, it's $2,000, put the Leone equivalent and paid. If you reach a point where you are confronted with externalizing your resources because of, access to, to forex challenges, tell us, we'll intervene, we'll speak to the commercial banks. These are all options. So if there is any single point I wish you to note, to take back, is that we are forging a relationship, a long-term relationship, through which you'll be able to seek assistance and support from the central bank in doing your business or in refining your relationship with commercial banks.
Representatives of the airlines called on the bank governor to review the air services agreement, which gave them the right to do their business in foreign currencies. They expressed frustration over the delay by banks to transact leons account into foreign conversion, calling on the bank governor to look at the foreign exchange rate, which is fluctuating on a daily basis. The permanent secretary, Minister of Transport and Aviation, Abubakar Kiru, commended the bank governor for this timely move and promised to work with the airlines to ensure compliance.
That was during Kaloko reporting. The Ministry of Finance and Economic Development has embarked on cleaning government payrolls and has asked both controllers and heads of departments and agencies to submit their actual certified staff list. The Ministry of Finance released states that the ministry will withhold the salaries of both controllers and heads of departments and agencies who fail to provide a staff list of their various departments. Well, that's it from the business desk. Many thanks for your time.
We continue with more stories on Little Joint Sports Desk. Center for the Coordination of Youth Activities, CCYA, in collaboration with Action Aid Sierra Leone, has organized a youth engagement to review the abridged version of the 1991 Constitution reports. The forum examined the reports to know if the interests of young people are captured. Francis Danema reports.
Center for the Coordination of Youth Activities, CCYA, is one of the youth organizations that has played key role in ensuring voices of young people are factored in the Constitution of Sierra Leone. CCYA has done several engagements with young people to create opportunity for them to participate in the constitutional review process. Executive Director, Center for the Coordination of Youth Activities, Ngolo Kata, said the abbreviated version of CRC captured most of the recommendations of the youths. He praised the president for including young people in his government.
But they're also looking out for opportunities, to have space in decision-making processes so that they also can participate in governance. In most of the discussions that we have, I've heard before, they said they give accolade, for example, to His Excellency the President because he has appointed a lot of young people. But that is out of his own volition. So tomorrow, another government may come in power that may not want to employ a lot of young people. So they want it imprinted into the constitution that speaks to, space being given to young people and women as well, so that they could participate in decision-making process in this country. So there are a series of other issues, the issues of nationality.
The Director of Youths, Ministry of Affairs, Charles Moynihan, commended CCYA for creating the platform for young people to have their say in the constitutional review process. He called on the participants to critically watch the report and contribute to what they would want to see in the final constitution. Program Manager CCYA Abigail Stevens said, the engagement gave the opportunity to young people to look at issues that were not factored in the draft report. She said the outcome of the engagement will be taken to the CRC. Representatives of Action Aid International Sierra Leone, Constitutional Review Committee, and the Youth Commission reaffirmed their commitment to ensure youth voices are captured in the final draft of the Constitution.
Up next is the sports news.
Welcome to Sports Update. I am Francis Barnard. Coming up in sports, where we begin sports update on news this afternoon on a sad note, as thousands of mourners are attending a farewell procession for boxing legend Muhammad Ali in his home city of Louisville in U.S. state of Kentucky. Onlookers lining the roadside waved, took pictures and chanted Ali, Ali as a cortege led by Haas carrying his coffin drove past. The heavyweight champion and human rights activist died last Friday at age 74. The cortege is taking Ali's body past key sites in his life ahead of an interfaith memorial service. Actor Will Smith and ex-boxer Lennox Lewis will be among the pallbearers, while former President Bill Clinton will deliver one of the eulogies, where we now bring you highlights of the ceremony.
Back rows, move back. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. Peace, blessings, welcome. The People's Champ. We welcome all of you here today. We welcome all of you here today. We welcome the Muslims. We welcome the members of other faith communities. After that, there's a second instance of extolling the greatness of Almighty God. Almighty God, don't deprive us of His reward. Don't cast us into tribulation after His departure. Following that recitation, let me add before the prayer that we are greatly humbled by so many.
Well, from that we go to another sports story, and that has to do with the Euro, which we commenced today. Euro 2016 kicks off today when host France in Group A. We face opponents Romania at the start of France amid an unprecedented security operation. France remains under a state of emergency after last November's attack on Paris, when 130 people were killed. More than 90,000 police, soldiers and private guards will be deployed at the tournament, with 7 million fans expected to visit the 10 host venues. The US and the British government have warned both fans that they could be at risk. Where we bring you some match preview as national security checks accusations of racism, sex tape, blackmail plot involving star players, late injuries to key squad members. It is fair to say the build-up to Euro 2016 has not gone exactly to plan for the France team, as they were not expecting what happened to the team because of different videos now in circulation in France. And now for the match, for the team news, France coach Didier Deschamps is expected to partner Adi Rami alongside Laurent Koscielny in a defense that has been decimated by pullouts. Forward Kingsley Coman has been nursing a calf injury this week, but should be fit enough to be on the bench. Romania defender Vlad Cicis has declared himself 100% ready after he sat out the warm-up win over Georgia. Striker Florin has overcome a hand injury, while midfielder Orban is also fit after a knockout. Well, the head-to-heads for France and Romania. France are unbeaten in their last 10 games against Romania, 5 wins with 5 draws. However, 4 of the last 5 encounters have ended in draws. Romania's last victory against France was a 2-0 defeat friendly win in Bucharest in April 1972. Well, with this we bring the cutting down for sports updates on Newsa. I am Frances Bernard.
Well, with sports, we round things up this afternoon, and now to end the news main points again. The Minister of Lands, Country Planning and the Environment has continued demolition of illegal structures along the Regent Crafton Road. Police and commercial bike riders have clashed in Freetown. Absence for 30 consecutive days from preliminary sittings without convincing excuse rendered the seat vacant, Speaker of Parliament has said. And the Deputy Minister of Information and Communication has reacted to a newspaper publication. That's all in the news this afternoon. Many thanks to the news editor, Sheku Sumala, and the rest of the production team. Thanks for watching and goodbye.